There are moments when even prayer must stop, when the believer is told, wait, not because you're unwelcome, but because the heavens themselves are shifting. The prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Do not pray when the sun rises or when it sets." Why? Because in those moments, darkness disguises itself as light. Because even worship must obey the rhythm of the divine. Discover the 3 times when you're forbidden to pray and the hidden wisdom behind the pause. There is a time to speak and a time to be silent, a time to act and a time to wait. And even in worship, there are sacred timings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, did not only teach us how to pray, but when not to. And in that silence, in that divine pause, lies a secret, a protection, a mercy. Not because worship is rejected, but because Allah, the most wise, the all-knowing, is teaching you something deeper. Let us begin. The first forbidden time begins right after Fajr prayer, from the moment you've prayed Fajr until the sun has fully risen. Why? The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Pray not when the sun rises or when it sets, for it rises and sets between the 2 horns of the devil." Sahih Muslim. During this time, idolaters used to bow before the sun, glorifying its light. And so the believers are forbidden from resembling them, even in outward actions. But deeper than that, this is a time when spiritual forces are in motion, when Shaytan seeks to claim what belongs only to Allah. And so Allah shields you from even appearing to participate in a ritual that was once drenched in shirk. This isn't just about timing. It's about purity of devotion. The second moment is brief, but critical. It is when the sun is at its highest point in the sky, before the adhan of duhur. This is known as istiwa, the time when the sun stands still, directly above. In this suspended moment, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, forbade prayer. Why? Because the fire worshippers, the magus, used to venerate the sun during its peak. But there's more. The scholars say, during this instant, divine judgment descends. It is a moment of majesty, of awe, of hush. Even the angels await the next command. So the believer pauses. He does not kneel. He does not rise. He waits for the call to dur. And then he pours his heart into sajda. You've prayed Asr. The sun now begins its descent. And you're told, no more voluntary prayer now. Wait. From Asr to Maghrib, this is the 3rd forbidden time. Why? Because as the sun sets, it takes on the hue of fire. Its rays weaken, and the hearts of the heedless become lazy. Some scholars said, this is when the fire of hell is kindled. Others said, it is when Shaytan plants false humility in the hearts of men, making them think they're drawing near when they're only imitating the pagans. And so the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, drew a line. No prayer here, no sujud, no ruku, except for those that are obligatory, those that are anchored in command. This is a time of patience, of waiting, of guarding your soul. Why are we forbidden at certain times? Isn't all prayer beautiful? Isn't every fast noble? Yes. But Islam is not chaos. It is harmony, balance, order. There are gates to the sky. There are angels who record. There are moments that open like flowers, and others that are veiled in shadows. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, didn't just teach us to worship. He taught us to listen, to obey, to surrender to the unseen patterns of the divine.